Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and yes, we got some news for you inside the world of Nintendo. Nintendo just had their kind of financial meeting last night, and big numbers were displayed when it comes to Nintendo Switch sales, game sales, and a lot more. And there's more news related to Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, guys, the train is moving, and there is no stopping it. Let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to the Odyssey, hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario.
And before we get started, August 27 will be our tournament for Mario Kart, Splatoon, Fall Guys, and more, where we'll be giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite, gift cards, and more. We will spin the wheel for a chance to win a huge prize, so make sure to subscribe, stay tuned, and we will be celebrating our first ever Spin the Thank You Wheel giveaway. So first up, we have the sales for the Nintendo Switch, and it looks like the Nintendo Switch has sold over 129 million units. Yes, guys, almost 130 million units. Nintendo DS still sits on the throne as the best-selling hardware with 154 million units, and by the end of the Switch cycle, it is expected to kind of overcome it, right? Along with the PlayStation 2 also at, I think, 172 million. So let's see what happens right here then. Next up, we have the best-selling games of all time on the Nintendo Switch. The top 10 best-selling games, of course, we have at number 1 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 55 million. Animal Crossing sits comfortably at number 2 with 42 million. Smash Bros. Ultimate at 31 million at number 3. At number 4, Breath of the Wild at 30 million. At number 5, Super Mario Odyssey at 26 million. At number 6 and 7, Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with 25 and 22 million. At number 8, Mario Party at 19 million. At number 9, Tears of the Kingdom at 18 million, which is crazy. At number 10, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 16 million. And those are your best-selling games of all time related to the Nintendo Switch. Alright, so let's move on to the big story of today, Nintendo Switch 2, and we have more updates to talk to you about. We're going to go ahead and recap what we know so far. So far, we know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is stated to be out in the next half of 2024. Some are saying that we might see it as early as the first half for the announcement. Who knows, right? And actually, we have more news. Apparently, Nintendo Switch 2 can also make an appearance this month at Gamescom. That is still really iffy, but we've also heard from insiders stating that they have also heard something related to Gamescom. We know that Nintendo will be on stage presenting, and now we have learned that Microsoft is also taking the stage to present something. So when one company takes the stage, the other one takes the stage, and they try to outstage each other. But basically, Microsoft taking the stage to announce a whole bunch of games, and whatever they announce is also kind of indication that Nintendo is also taking the stage at Gamescom to announce something big. So who knows, right? Well, so far we know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is stated for 2024, the second half, with a major announcement in the first half. We know that developers, meaning big giant developers like Sega, Microsoft, Activision Blizzard, and others, right? They have the dev kits in their hands. But now I would like to add that now the SDK is available on Nintendo developer website for the smaller developers. So anybody who is developing games for the Switch 2, the SDK for the Switch 2 is also available on Nintendo developer website. This is under NDA, so you will not hear anybody talk about it. But when it comes to the development side of the Nintendo Switch 2, we know the ball is rolling, and is rolling fast. Developers have the dev kits, there's the SDK, which is the software development kit that kind of mimics what the hardware does, right? And it gives us smaller developers an opportunity to work on a software that is meant to be for the Switch 2, and also mimics the size and how powerful it should be, right? So that is out there already. When it comes to the Switch hardware itself, we've heard that it will come with an LCD screen, right? Not an OLED screen, which kind of begs the question, will Nintendo issue the first version with an LCD and then the next version with an OLED screen? But we know that the LCD screen technology has advanced much since the release in Nintendo Switch in 2017. So even if we do have an LCD screen, it can still look as good as an OLED screen with the brightness and resolution and contrast. But now we have learned that not only will it have an LCD screen, but the screen size has increased to 8 inches, okay? 8-inch screen for the Nintendo Switch, which is crazy, which is, I welcome a bigger screen. It is going to be awesome. If you want a point of reference for the 8-inch screen, take a look at that monster that PlayStation did or is trying to do when it comes to the handheld console. Look at that size of a screen and you'll know how big the screen on the Switch 2 is going to be. Now, I personally fully expect the Nintendo Switch to be fully compatible with Nintendo Switch games, just because there are so many games that are being announced and launched in the end of the Switch cycle. Now, I also expect the Switch to continue to have some service at least a year or two after the Switch 2 is announced and released. So Switch owners, no need to worry. Nintendo will make it as easy as possible to transition from one console to another, and I believe that Nintendo accounts will play a big part of this, along with backwards compatibility. Now, this is all my own speculation, but it just makes sense that Nintendo gives us backwards compatibility and makes the transition from one console to another even better. Now, we have Mario Wonder, we still have Detective Pikachu Returns, we have that new Princess Peach game, we have that new Dark Moon Luigi's Mansion game as well coming up on the Nintendo Switch. We have Tears of the Kingdom. There's so many games that are on Nintendo Switch that should be compatible with the Switch 2, and it just makes sense for Nintendo to actually do backwards compatibility. Now, what is yet to be known is whether the next games that are going to be announced for the Nintendo Switch 2, if they will work on Nintendo Switch, or if they will have the counterpart for Nintendo Switch. That is yet to be known. There's the big possibility that future games will not work on Nintendo Switch, giving us the incentive to actually upgrade, have our own games that we've had on the Switch, plus have new games on the Nintendo Switch. That is yet to be known, and we will know more once Nintendo tells us, or maybe some insiders inside the world of Nintendo or developers tells us. We know that now dev kits are out, so there will be more information on the Nintendo Switch specs and how powerful it is, because whenever dev kits are out, something always leaks outside and gives us a little bit more information on what we can expect when it comes to Nintendo Switch and its power. Alright guys, that is all the information we have for today. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button for our big tournament and giveaway at the end of the month, where you have a chance to win a Nintendo Switch, Switch OLED, Switch Lite, a whole bunch of games, gift cards, and a whole bunch of prizes at spinning that thank you wheel. That's going to do it for today's video, but before I let you go, never give up and journey on. Peace.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a new wave. Never slow down, winners don't need no brakes. And we won't fade, our shine gets greater. Staying on the ball like Pokemon trainers. From the nest to the Wii, we dangerous. You can button mash, but it ain't gonna save ya.